Thanks for just enjoying life and guns with me. So this channel is not about being the best out there or having the most votes or the most likes. This channel is all about sharing my personal experience with different guns with the normal user out there. I don't claim to be a hunter that can shoot doves at 180 and 190 and 200 meters. That's not me. But what I am about is the honest truth. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Alright, so as you can hear, English is not my native tongue either. Today, I'll be having some fun with a old kid on the block. When I say old, about 2 years already in the market. And this is not the first gun review on this specific gun. So you can go and have a look at some of the other reviews. Please go and have a look at the other reviews. I'm all about shooting, testing pellets, looking at accuracy. But today, I've got a special baby with me. Now, this is the Brocock Concept XR. And the main reason why I decided to do a review on this gun is because it's so freaking awesome. Wow, what a nice looking gun. It looks, the moment you pick up the gun, first and foremost, it is lightweight galore. Unfortunately for me, I played around a bit and I put a very heavy bipod on it just for stability for the testing today. The moment I'm done with the testing, I'll be swapping again to a lighter bipod. Because the heavy bipod that I've got on here, this is the Atlas, and it's got so many acronyms I can't even remember. Where is it? It's an Atlas BT35LW1752H Atlas bipod. This is the original Atlas bipod, not one of those copies. It's an extremely sturdy bipod. It is actually built for heavy rimfire rifles, and I've got it on the lightest air rifle I've got in my possession currently. So it's a little bit of overkill. And because of the weight of this specific bipod, it makes the gun front heavy, which I don't like a heck of a lot. But for today, shooting it off this very sturdy bipod, off a sandbag at the back to get maximum stability and to take the idiot error behind the gun out as much as possible, brilliant combination. So again, just a quick update on this gun, made in England. And before I go on, there's one thing that annoys me about the all guns made in England, and this is the dovetail that they've got on here. There's no place for Picatinny. They've got Picatinny side mounts for adding accessories, for adding bipods or whatever, but when it comes to the scope, they are still on the old 11mm dovetail scenario. Luckily for me, I had a spare set of rings, and I've got a new scope that I'm also testing out a little bit. This is the Valiant Lynx 4216x50, and this is not a first focal plane scope, this is the second focal plane scope. Great glass in the front, lots of light coming in, excellent for shooting in dusk as well. And then on the front, I swapped out the silencer that I originally had on there, and again I went for a very lightweight silencer, but I've got a monster of a silencer up front. I'll show you the silencer just now. With that said, thank you pelletguns.com for lending me this rifle. This is not mine. I can only keep it for a couple of weeks, hopefully a little bit longer, because I actually want to take it out into the field. I want to go and do some pest control with it, because I think this will be an awesome rifle to take out in the field and walk with because of the lightness. One of the very nice features is the adjustable stock here in the back. So just by pressing a button, you can make the length of the gun a little bit longer or shorter. It is exceptionally well built, guys. This is the Brocock, so sister company is obviously Daystate out in England. And one of the things that's always been known to Daystate is the absolute quality of the guns. The moment you buy anything from Daystate or Brocock, you know it's not going to come with leaks. You know that you've got the manufacturers backing with this gun, and it is exceptional high quality. There's no plastic in this gun, all right? And for that reason, it is not as cheap as you would like it to be. But at the end of the day, quality doesn't come cheap. A couple of things that really stood out for me: lightness of the gun, the simplistic thing about it. it is regulated, fully regulated, but it does not have an external adjustable regulator. If it has, please correct me, because I haven't been able to find it in any guide, book or video in this regard. But the nice simplistic thing about this is more for guys like me and most of the shooters out there that don't want to spend 70,000 hours fine-tuning the gun to adopt to a slug and whatever. So I'm not going to shoot slugs with this gun at all. I'm going to focus on what it's built for, and that is pellets on pellet. Very, very accurate in that regard. It is not a 50 foot-pound energy gun. It has 4 power settings on the side, and those 4 power settings is basically low, medium, high, and high, for lack of better words. When I tested the gun originally on the low setting, it was shooting extremely slow, so I'm not going to use it there. It runs at I think 9 or 10 foot-pound there, which is way too slow for 22 pellets in any case. So I'm going to shoot it today from power setting 1, 2, 3 and 4, so it's 3 power settings. And I'm also going to look for accuracy between those power settings with the different pellets. And I've got 12 different pellets in total to test, which is nice. I'm running a little bit low on the difference in pellets, so if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor me, you're more than welcome. The one thing that is weird about the gun is the very small cylinder. Now, to give you guys an idea, this is a 150cc cylinder, only 150. Now, if you look at an FX gun as an example, that's got a 480cc cylinder. That's 3 times larger than this baby here. Yet, the shot count for a 150cc gun is amazing. I'll give you guys the figures as I go along between the different power settings. In my initial testing on power setting 3, where I got some decent accuracy, I got between 50 and 60 decent shots before I saw a drop in point of impact shift there. So 150cc gun, 50 shots. For hunting purposes, that's just bloody well awesome. The gun has the air pressure gauge right in front with a filling adapter. It comes standard with one of these very high build quality Daystage / Brocock magazines. This is not the new style magazine. It doesn't have the flip open cover. This is the one that you load from the rear. Loading it is quite easy, and the moment you pick up this magazine, you can feel it's high quality, and that's what I like about it. The one thing I didn't like about it is that the moment you shot your last shot, you can still cock the gun and do a dry fire in that regard. There's no warning indicator. Yes, it's got a nice little red dot on the side that warns you when you're quite close to empty, but it's basically about feeling. So if you're in that heat of the moment going pest control or target shooting, you actually feel the lighter cock of the gun, then you know the gun is empty, but there's no warning to say that the magazine is empty, no blockage or anything like that. So I've shot a couple of fairies, anywhere there where there's no pellet going out the front. So that's the one little drawback. From a ease of use, Brocock, great quality. This gun is slightly more expensive, around about $2,000, about in South Africa about 32,000 Rand. With the Russia-Ukraine thing, I can't go on what the currency is doing because it fluctuates so much that you can't get an accurate prediction there. Value for money? Yes. Accurate as hell? Yes. And we're going to look at that accuracy today. Only going to do 30 meters, but that will give us a great indication of the accuracy, and then I'll take it out to 50 meters once I can afford some fuel again. With the fuel hike prices we've had, driving out into the field with the windy days and just not worth it. We're going to test 6 different pellets, all round about 18 grain, to get a good indication from 3 different speeds to see if the gun is pellet fussy and how they group with each. But that's not all. I've also got some 16 grainers that we're going to do the exact same experiment with. Again, 6 different pellets, 6 different makes, shapes and sizes, all running through the same gun, and I'm going to shoot them as well from 3 different power settings. Now the Comeat and the JSB is same factory, but I just want to illustrate that there might be a difference between batch numbers and accuracy whenever you buy 2 different things that looks the same at the end of the day. Right, time for lights, camera, action. First pellet is going to be the Olympia shot, 15.89 grain. I'm going to shoot 5 sighters just to let the barrel a little bit, and then 3 targets, each at a different speed. Let's do this. One thing to notice is that the pellets haven't been sorted or weighed, so there might be here and there a fly in all the batches that I shoot. If the pellet is slightly bent or whatever, I take them out of the tin like a normal shooter would. This is not bench rest, I'm not going to weigh and sort everything. The Olympias had a very good grouping on the sighted target, and then next target shot a little bit higher than expected. Didn't group as well as I would have liked them to group, but that's why I'm here. I'm testing to see which of the pellets are optimal for this gun. So time to move on to the next one. Let's rip it. Sure, there's so many batteries and buttons to push and get the crony on and get the camera on and get this on and make sure the mic is working. Alright, next up for a shave, this is the Field Target Trophy Power. These are the copper coated pellets from H&N. They are coming in as the lightest pellets on the day on 14.66 grain. Let's do it. Alright, the copper ones, different friction throughout the barrel. I don't know if this barrel likes them that particularly much. They came out a lot slower than expected, and the results weren't that great. Let's keep on testing. Right, on to some serious hunting pellets. This is the Polymag Predator in 22, 16 grain, and immediately there's a slight little hiccup. Doesn't fit into the magazine. Luckily I've got a very high quality one-shot loader or single shot loader, and I'm going to use this for the Polymags. Oh, except for that last one, that was a heck of a lot better grouping, around about 855 feet per second. Obviously the Predators out of this gun loves that extra bit of speed, but that was at the maximum power that I could get out of this gun. We'll have to see if it loves the other pellets a little bit more, but that is a lot better than the previous bunches. Time to move on to the next one. The H&N Hornet has got exactly the same challenge as the Predators. The fact that the pointed little pellet is slightly too long for the magazine, so I'll be single shot loading again. Oh wow, that was just to let the barrel a little bit. Let's see what it does. Nice. Alright, so that was a heck of a lot better than the previous bunches that I've tested, or the other pellet brands and stuff that I've tested. One thing that's quite surprising is that the Hornets actually prefer the slower speeds. At 750 feet per second they were immaculate, and then again good groupings here at 850 feet per second. In between didn't want to group that well, but that is spectacular. Spectacular for a hunting pellet at that distance. Give it to me any day. You can send me some more, H&N. Thank you. Sure, it's heating up nicely this morning. Next up is going to be the H&N Terminators. These are probably the heaviest 16 grainers that I've got at 16.36 grain. The nice thing about these Terminators is, first and foremost, they fit into the magazine, which is great. But the second thing is, and I absolutely adore this, these are almost like wad cutters. They hit the target with a precise round edge. It's like it's been laser engraved. Alright, let's see what they do out of the Brocock XR Concept Lite .22. Wow, 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 wow. That middle group or second last group was just exceptional. The last one is still very much exceptional. It looks like the Brocock and the H&N Pellets has got a type of a love affair going here, because that's now 2 in a row with very good groupings there. Right, last one up is going to be the JSBs, the old trusty Diabolos, however you want to pronounce it. Let's go and do this. Lekker! Last of the 16 grainers coming up, JSB Jumbo Exacts in 15.89 grain. Now, I know out of experience, most of my guns absolutely adore these pellets. So let's see what the Brocock does. Amazing, 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 amazing. I know that H&N is bringing out their new 15 grainers. Unfortunately, they're not in South Africa yet, and I don't have my hands on any at this stage. It would be interesting to see if there's any competition currently for the JSBs in 16 grain. If I look at today's results, unfair to compare a hunting pellet versus a normal pellet, if I can call it that way around. The JSBs are just in a different class when it comes to that. But from a hunting pellet perspective, the H&Ns were superb. For up to 30 meters, I'll test them out to 50 as well. But from a hunting perspective, the H&Ns wins hands down today. From a pure accuracy perspective, with the 16 grainers out of the Brocock Concept XR Lite, the JSBs just cleaned up through all the speed ranges. Very, very nice. I'm very impressed with the gun itself. The cocking lever is quite smooth. It is not as smooth as some of the other guns I've shot before, but you can feel the quality. So sometimes when you feel the quality, you don't mind that little bit of edginess or that little bit of crisp. The one thing that this thing is definitely is repeatable. You know that every time you cock it, you're going to get the same feel, the same every single time. So 16 grainers, you deserve an applause. Time to move over to the fatties, the 18 grainers. It's getting hotter and hotter, and the shooting is also getting hotter and hotter. Alright, going over to the Baracuda Hunters. These are the 18 grainers and 18.21 grain. Time for some fun. No. I pulled that last one. I was getting so anxious because that would have been my best grouping ever with the Baracuda Hunters, and I pulled the last one, you twit. Wow, that was a great grouping. 820 feet per second with the Baracuda Hunters as a hunting pellet out of the Brocock. Can't beat that. Or can I? Let's go and have a look. Time to move over to the Baracuda. Time for the Baracuda Hunter Extremes. These are in 18.52 grain. Let's hope they can produce what the Baracuda Hunters did. Alright, that wasn't fun. For two simplistic reasons. For some or other reason, the Baracuda Hunter Extremes fitted easily into the mag, but the cocking was extremely hard. And I don't know if the pellets got bent or anywhere in the cocking process, but it was very tough cocking them out of the gun. So the gun doesn't like the Baracuda Hunter Extremes. And if I look at the groupings in front, that is just a confirmation of that. Okay, 4 more to go. Time for some of the bigger brands. No, I'm lying. It's just Air Arms. No. Air Arms Diablo Field Heavies in 18 grains. Same procedure as every year, James. Right, I can't explain what went wrong there. Alright, that's what I call a tin of cuck pellets. Sorry for the French there. But you can't shoot excellent 1L groupings the one moment, up the speed by 20 and then go and swipe flat for the rest of your life. Looks like I had a 12 gauge shotgun there. Some remnants of brilliance. The sighted group, brilliant. Same speed the next group, absolute rubbish. And then a great grouping again, not as great as I want them. And then an absolute horrible last one. Jeez, that's disappointing. But I think this is just a batch. I'm gonna give Air Arms the benefit of the doubt there. Take this tin and say bye bye, not in my bag. So the Air Arms were quite disappointing, to say the least. The tin is somewhere there behind it. When I find it, I'll flatten it. I nearly said a nasty word. All right, let's try the Baracuda 18s. This is the new Baracuda 18s from H&N, weighing in at 18.13 grains. So I don't know what the manufacturers have about the 0.13 grain, but looks like that's the thing that they need to do. Let's go for this. Oh wow, last 4 holes, 4 shots, same hole. First one was a little bit high, but that can be the power adjuster of the gun just settling in. But the last 4 Baracuda H&Ns, 18 grainers, same hole. Now that is promising. Let's go and measure up, give you guys the results. 2 more to go in the fatty category, the heavies. This will be the JSB Jumbo Heavies Diabolos in 18.13 grain, probably one of the most well-known pellets in the world. Let's see how they do. Alright, the JSBs didn't disappoint. Most of them 1 hole or clover leaf. Let's go and measure up. And we're down to the last pellets of the day. This will be the Jumbo Exact Cometas. And also an 18.13 grain. Again, there's the 0.13 grain. I don't know why manufacturers do that. They are actually JSBs. They are supplied by JSBs, just a different batch number. Now, the one thing that's interesting is that these pellets that I've got, my tin, feels like it's got a bit of a coating on it. Now that might be out of the manufacturing process. As far as I know, they don't lubricate these pellets, but there's only one way to test them, and that's to shoot them through the Brocock. So let's go. Now that I can't explain. Letting it in, perfect shooting. Next 5, all over the place. Oh well, that's not too bad. There was a little bit inconsistency in the speed, but otherwise not too shabby at all. Don't know what happened there with the first group, but the rest didn't look too bad. Time to go and measure up and surmise. Interesting. From this perspective, the different speeds from the different pellets at average speed. The JSBs on average were faster out of the barrel than the H&N, and that's because the H&N probably uses a different alloy and not the same lead formula, because lead is a natural lubricant in the gun as well. From an accuracy point of view, every pellet was right on there except the Baracuda Hunter Extremes in the 18 grainers, but the rest of them immaculate. Last section of this test of the Brocock Concept XR Lite is just to give you guys a good indication of what shot string you can expect from that. So I'm not going to show the whole video, it's boring as hell. I'm going to shoot the gun all the way from 200 bar until I can see that the speed drops and it's actually off the internal regulator in that regard. This exercise, I'm going to shoot the gun off maximum power, so full tilt right open from the word go. I'm using the Comeat's 18.13 grainers, and I'll give you guys the readings, the standard deviation and everything, and then also what the groupings look like from max power and how many shots. From the shot string, it is obvious that the gun struggled a little bit with those initial shots until the regulator pressure settled in so the 200 bar in the cylinder is a bit high for the actual regulator inside. Then it flattened out very nicely, and round about shot number 40 it started to drop again as it got off the rig. 40 shots, not too shabby, Nige. Right through the whole shot string you can see some excellent groupings there, and you can't even notice the speed difference from the initial couple of shots versus the last shots. Even the 10 shots that were off the rig, excellent grouping. Time to wrap up the test of the Brocock Concept XR Lite, and there's a couple of things that really stood out for me with this gun. First and foremost, superior build quality. I couldn't find anything on this gun that didn't work 100%. It feels solid. You know that you buy quality when you fork out $2,000 for this gun. It is super accurate. It is not pellet fussy. Even with a silencer on, it's nice and quiet. Without a silencer, it barks. So just prepare for that. You need a good, decent silencer. So what I did in the front is I put the biggest silencer that I've got on there, and it quieted this thing really nicely. I had a shorter, very expensive silencer on initially, but the noise was just too loud for my liking in that regard. Good shot with a 150cc tank, cylinder should I rather say, 40 decent shots. The rig, internal rig is round about at 100 bars, so from a 200 bar full down to 100 bars, 40 decent shots on high power. If you click it one down to the second highest setting, you'll get approximately 50 decent shots. Even with the gun going off the rig at around about 100-105 bar, I still managed an additional 10 decent shots as per the picture included here. It is extremely lightweight, nice gun to carry around, nice features. The adjustable stock is just an extra for me. If I have to find something negative about the gun, I think it's a little bit pricey, but you pay for that quality, so you need to decide, do you want to buy a cheap little gun or do you want a quality gun? And let's be honest, the looks of this gun is just mwah. It looks like you are a sniper even though you can't shoot like hell. Then one other small niggle, the cocking lever isn't as smooth as some of the other guns in the same price range. It is repeatable, but it's not as smooth. And one of the things that I realized between the different pellet brands is some of the pellets actually loaded a lot harder than that. It looks like the gun is set up basically for soft lead. In other words, you're looking at your JSBs, you're looking at your H&Ns, you're not looking for the funny weird pellets out there that's got too much different alloys and mixtures in there. Go for a pellet that is soft lead. It absolutely loves the 15.89 grains. It absolutely loves the 18 grains, so you are spoiled for choice when it comes to pellets. I did not test this gun with slugs because I think if it shoots an 18 grain pellet at 820 feet per second, it's going to be way too slow to shoot any 21 grain and up slugs in that regard. So from me, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for enjoying the sport with me. If there's any comments, any suggestions you want to make, throw them in the comments column. Thank you guys.
That's all, folks.